Some people are doing really great after Trump's victory. You know, like the small-town farmers and factory workers he promised help, and I'm just with you, it's rich dudes.
The fortunes of the 10 richest people in the world surged by a daily record yesterday after Donald Trump won second term as president. According to the Bloomberg Billionaire Index, the net worth of billionaires led by Tesla's Elon Musk surged by $63.5 billion. Among the other top gainers there, Amazon's Jeff Bezos, Oracle's Larry Ellison, and Berkshire's Warren Buffett.
This is really great news for Elon Musk. You know, maybe now he'll finally be able to afford a shirt that covers his entire stomach. You know, my man, take this lesson from a fellow nerd. Unless you got a six-pack, don't show us your abs. Whenever I take my kids to the beach, I wear one of those fake muscle shirts. And yeah, my kids make fun of me, and I cry. Or I used to cry. Thanks, President Trump.
Reports are now emerging from Trump world about the predictable tensions with Elon Musk. NBC News reports Musk has been so aggressive in pushing his views about Trump's second term that he's stepping on the toes of Trump's transition team and maybe overstaying his welcome at Mar-a-Lago, according to two people familiar with the transition. He's behaving as if he's a co-president and making sure everyone knows it.
Yeah, of course he is. The guy has $300 billion in the bank. Do you really think he wants to hear somebody else's ideas? Hell, if I had $1 billion, you couldn't tell me. I'd come out here every night with Andy Samberg and just make him do his Nick Cage impression while I cackled like a harp seal. No one would enjoy it. You think I'd give it? Everybody would act like it's fine, the way Trump does when Elon won't leave.
What a job he does. And he happens to be a really good guy. You know, he likes this place. I can't get him out of here. He just likes this place. And you know what? I like having him here, too. He's good.
You know, my goal these days is to try to stay in a good mood about things, and nothing's making me feel better than the fact that Donald Trump finally got his own Donald Trump. You can't... Look, I've tried. You can't get rid of this guy. Every time he does something crazy, I think, well, that'll be the end of it. That has to be the breaking point. And then, you know, no, he's still right here. And also, I can't believe I'm saying it. He needs to cool it on social media. The guy posts like a maniac. So the oligarchs were all there to suck up to Trump. But hey, at least none of them did anything weird or off-putting that caused a major international outcry.
SpaceX, Tesla, and ex-founder Elon Musk igniting online chatter for what he did at a rally for President Trump yesterday. The billionaire seen placing his hand on his heart and then extending his arm out above his head with his palm facing down. He did that gesture twice. Many on social media compared the gesture to a Nazi salute.
Thank you.
I don't know why everybody's complaining. He was just grabbing his heart and violently throwing it out to the crowd. In that classic gesture that has no dark historical overtones. But before anyone rushes to judgment, let's listen to Musk defenders.
The Anti-Defamation League, and the leading Jewish civil rights group, they responded to the controversy saying, quote, "It seems that Elon Musk made an awkward gesture in a moment of enthusiasm, not a Nazi salute, but again, we appreciate that people are on edge."
Aww. It's nice to be appreciated. But the statement continued, "In this moment, all sides should give one another a bit of grace, perhaps even the benefit of the doubt, and take a breath." It does help answer the question, what do you get for the man who has everything? The benefit of the doubt. And so I'm gonna take that advice. I mean, who among us hasn't sieged when we were trying to zag? Oh, brother, they don't like the wordplay. They don't like the wordplay. I got worried earlier, brother. Because I knew that was coming, brother. And that blood's on my hands because I wrote that one, brother. While Trump is threatening trade wars abroad, he's letting the real president, Elon Musk, root around in government computer systems and basically eliminate whatever he doesn't like.
New reporting overnight about the Department of Government Efficiency, led by Elon Musk. Well, he's now gained access to sensitive Treasury data that includes the federal government's payment system.
This is the system that is used to dole out more than $6 trillion of payments every year. Everything from Social Security benefit payments to Medicare benefits to when you get a tax refund from the federal government.
DOJ personnel wanted access to security systems, to personnel information into areas where classified information is held, of course, highly restricted areas. Eventually, we are told the Doge personnel were able to get in.
This brings us to a segment called Seth is so stunned he can't complete a thought. So you're telling me the richest man in the world. Okay, so Elon Musk is just, let's back up. The Treasury Department's computer system has been covered by, I mean, this is a staggering leak of private, what I'm trying to say, it, this sucks eggs. Oh, sorry. Ooh, thank you, Bertie. Look at this. Two totally different eggs. On Tuesday, Musk appeared in the Oval Office to take questions next to an intern who didn't seem to be paying much attention. I mean, come on, dude, you expect to get college credit for this? Musk was asked about his own personal conflicts of interest and how he would assure Americans they could trust him.
The White House says that you will identify and excuse yourself from any conflicts of interest that you may have. Does that mean that you are, in effect, policing yourself? What are the checks and balances that are in place to ensure that there is accountability and transparency?
We actually are trying to be as transparent as possible. In fact, our actions, we post our actions to the Doge handle on X.
Oh, cool. So to find out what our government is up to, we just have to wade through a sea of Nazis, trolls, ads for Cheech and Chong weed gummies, and bots with women in bikinis offering to send us 1 million units of something called SexCoin as long as we send our social security and bank routing numbers, which I did, and I am happy to say that I am now rolling in SexCoin. Unfortunately, tried to use it to buy eggs, and the sign at the grocery store says eggs now cost 3 million SexCoin. The tariffs have obviously taken a toll on the stock market, which has fallen dramatically in recent days. But one stock that's been falling for weeks is Tesla.
Wall Street suffered its worst day of the year. The stock market tumbling, the Dow plunging 900 points. The Nasdaq suffering its worst day since 2022. Billionaire Elon Musk, a senior advisor here, taking a hit too. Tesla down more than 15% in one day, more than 40% since the start of the year.
Tesla giving back all of its post-election gains on its worst day since 2020. It is now worth less than half of what it was at its mid-December peak.
Tesla shares have been dropping for a record 7 straight weeks, causing Elon Musk to lose billions of dollars.
That's right, Elon Musk has lost billions of dollars. It's so bad he can only afford to wear the one outfit. You know, that's why it always looks like he was dropped naked into a Hot Topic with only $80 to spend. That whole clip just gets worse the longer it goes on. Let's watch it again, but break it into pieces.
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy.
All right, fine. At least I know the point he's trying to make. It's a little lame, but he wants to make cuts, so it tracks. But please tell me his next line isn't to just yell chainsaw again.
Chainsaw!
Oof. Feel like he maybe didn't think this through. And look, I don't have a good primal scream. I know that about me. But because I don't have one, I would never give a limp, whiny effort while swinging a power tool over my head. Please tell me he didn't do that. He sounds like an 8-year-old playing with action figures. Immediately after that clip, his mom called down from the kitchen and said it was dinner time. Not now, Mom. Wolverine is about to use his adamantium claws to destroy Medicare. Claws! I'm Wolverine. Can I have some pizza rolls? Normally, you might not pay super close attention to the results of a state Supreme Court race in Wisconsin, but it became a huge deal because of how much time and money Musk poured into it. He made the race a referendum on his control of the federal government, and because the Wisconsin Supreme Court will rule on redistricting, which in turn will affect congressional races and control of the House, Musk claimed that nothing less than the future of human civilization was at stake.
What's happening on Tuesday is a vote for which party controls the U.S. House of Representatives. That is why it is so significant. And whichever party controls the House, it to a significant degree controls the country, which then steers the course of Western civilization. So it's like, I feel like this is one of those things that may not seem that it's going to affect the entire destiny of humanity, but I think it will.
This guy has to hurry up and make the robot version of himself because it can't possibly have less charisma than the real thing. I mean, I'm no political expert, but maybe Elon should stop doing in-person campaign events. It's like watching an accountant at open mic night. So, women tend to
spend their disposable income on average more than their male counterparts, and then they will use that income to procure large quantities of consumer goods. So in conclusion, I guess you could say, women be shopping.
By the way, if you say that an election will literally change the course of human destiny, you have to follow that up with something a little more eloquent than this.
It's a super big deal.
Are you campaigning for a judicial candidate or dubbing a commercial for a Romanian game show? Tune in tonight for an all-new episode of Most Excellent, Terrific, Awesome Time. It's a super big deal. Elon Musk, who has said he'll be stepping away to focus on his struggling electric car business, Tesla, showed up with a weird fashion choice.
Elon, I love the double hat, by the way. He's the only one that can do that. Get away with it.
Well, Mr. President, they say I wear a lot of hats. It's true. Even my hat has a hat.
Oh my God, my least favorite thing, a hat on a hat. You know, it's bad enough this dork showed up wearing 2 hats and then said people say I wear a lot of hats. But even then he had to add, even my hat has a hat. Like there was a single person on Earth who didn't already get the joke. Maybe Doge should like cut your punchlines in half.
We just showed to His Royal Highness some of your Optimus robots.
Yeah.
And to President Trump.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Tell me about them.
I think everyone will want to have their personal robot. You can think of it like as though you had your own personal C-3PO or R2-D2, but even better. Then who wouldn't want to have their own personal C-3PO, R2-D2? That would be pretty great.
Would it? I mean, I love them as movie characters, but they seem like they'd be a drag to have in the house. I mean, this one's always bitching about something. Oh, sir, pretzels this late at night? Is that much salt a good idea? Shut the up, dude! Oh, language, sir.
It's now official. Elon Musk is leaving his role as a special government employee in the Trump administration.
Musk fell far short of his Doge goals after promising to cut up to $2 trillion in federal spending. He lowered expectations to only $150 billion in the current fiscal year.
I think they're only sending $9 billion in Doge cuts which is nothing. It's a drop in the bucket, which means pretty much his effort was a failure.
A legacy of disease, starvation, and death.
In the Oval Office today, President Trump's farewell to Elon Musk. What Elon Musk acknowledged today, Musk also explaining his black eye.
Man, it's wild that this guy arrived in Washington to cheers from conservatives, and now he's leaving with plummeting sales and a black eye. Although, based on how he waved a chainsaw around like a nightclub lumberjack, I guess he should just be happy he still has all his limbs. By the way, Musk claims he got the black eye because he's told his son to punch him in the face, and then his son did. I'm sorry, why is this guy considered a genius? I mean, my boys love me, but all they're ever waiting for in regards to punching me in the face is an invitation. But Elon's former employer / subordinate, Donald Trump, was cool about it.
But I didn't really feel much at the time, and then I guess it bruises up. But I just washed him out of the cage.
I didn't
basically.
notice it, actually.
Not the compliment he thinks it is. I didn't notice it. I mean, you always look like right, everyone? I mean, Elon always looks a little weird. Weird name, weird face. I mean, he looks like a Xerox of his own headshot. Noticing a black eye on this guy would be like noticing a dirt stain on a dumpster. Anyway, we're gonna miss you, Elon. So he's got a black eye and a record of failure, but hey, at least he's not going home totally empty-handed.
The former Doge head and Tesla CEO held a joint press conference with President Trump in the Oval Office earlier today. Trump awarded Musk with a gold-colored key for his work with Doge.
Classic Trump. Musk endangers his businesses, exposes his personal life, and becomes one of the most disliked public figures in America. And in return, Trump gives him a crappy prop from an escape room. It only works on one door, and that's the door that lets you the out of here. You guys remember Elon Musk over here, rich guy, weird face, dresses like a hungover Dracula? Well, until recently, he very humbly and gracefully served our country doing hard work no one else was willing or able to do, like teaching a 78-year-old boy how to drive a car or waving a chainsaw about while screaming the word chainsaw.
Chainsaw!
or accidentally firing a bunch of people, then begging them to come back.
DOJ has made some high-profile mistakes. Last night, the Department of Agriculture admitted it's trying to get back some key workers who were accidentally fired, veterinarians and animal health technicians working to prevent the spread of bird flu.
We've seen experts in nuclear weapons fired, then rehired. We've seen people at the Veterans Crisis Line fired, then rehired. We've seen people investigating pandemics, infectious diseases, fired, then rehired.
Elon Musk said that as a part of the DOJ cuts, they accidentally fired the group of people that were watching for Ebola.
We will make mistakes. We won't be perfect. One of the things we accidentally canceled very briefly was Ebola, Ebola prevention. I think we all want Ebola prevention.
You know, I used to think so, but now I'm like, bring it on, you know? We're watching him slowly realize in real time that he might up.
It's not like I agree with everything the administration does. I don't want to, speak out against the administration, but I don't want to. I also don't want to take responsibility for everything the administration's doing.
Then you shouldn't have made yourself the Trump administration's mascot. This is like Tony the Tiger doing a tell-all interview with 60 Minutes and saying, I don't know where everybody got the idea that Frosted Flakes are so great. I mean, they're fine. Just a few months ago, you literally said the words, I love Donald Trump as much as a straight man can love another man. You could have just said, I love Donald Trump. You didn't have to make it so weird. Not like if you said, I love Donald Trump, people are like, yo, you want to have sex with him? It's like, no, I wasn't done. I wasn't done. Sounds like you want to have sex with him as much as a straight man.
I'm very disappointed in Elon. I've helped Elon a lot. Look, Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we're well anymore.
Man, it's also sad. Another male friendship destroyed. This is why men are so lonely. These two used to be inseparable. On stage, on foreign trips, at rocket launches, in the Oval Office. Just last week, Trump gave him a ceremonial golden key he stole from the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland. But so what? You know what? So what? Elon criticized the size of the bill. Trump said he was disappointed in Elon. Seems like a reasonable disagreement between friends. It's not like they said anything devastating they could never take back, right?
A pretty intense back and forth between Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Trump was in the Oval Office. He was with the Chancellor of Germany. He goes after Musk. Musk in real time goes back after him.
Trump went a step further. The easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's government subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised Biden didn't do it.
Elon Musk tweeting within the past 1 minute, time to drop the really big bomb. At Real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That's the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT, exclamation point.
I don't know about DJT, but I'm having a pretty nice day. Holy in the span of 3 hours, they went from Elon criticizing the bill to Trump threatening to take Elon's contracts away to Elon suggesting that Trump might be a pedophile. Also, if we were to take you at your word, Elon, you already knew that, and it wasn't a deal breaker. So that spiraled out of control, and it's not just Trump who lost a friend. House Speaker Mike Johnson used to be so proud of how tight he was with the world's richest man.
I was communicating with Elon last night. Elon and Vivek and I are on a text chain together.
Can you imagine how much it sucks to be on a text chain with Elon Musk? Johnson, DOJ should cut Medicaid. Vivek, we should also look at Social Security. Musk, we're renaming it to UpDoge. Johnson, huh? Musk, I said we're renaming it to UpDoge. Johnson, what's UpDoge? Musk, I don't know. What's up with you? Laugh emoji, laugh emoji, laugh emoji. Stewie laughing gif. Comedy is legal again. Trump's a pedophile. Allegedly. Everyone's been wondering how Trump would respond, and today he finally chimed in, first with a customary swipe at Elon's appearance.
You saw a man who was very happy when he stood behind the Oval desk, and even with the black eye, I said, you want a little makeup? We'll get you a little makeup. But he said, no, I don't think so, which is interesting.
He can't use your makeup. It doesn't match his skin tone. Now, I should say, we stopped doing orange skin jokes 10 years ago, but it's the end of a long week, you know. We thought it'd be a little bit fun. Ask our graphics team what it would look like if Elon Musk used Trump's makeup to cover up his black eye. And well, here it is.
Elon? Oh, I was just looking to make sure there were no more Cheetos in the bag, you know?
This feud got so messy that even the astronauts who are currently on the International Space Station somehow caught a stray.
At one point Thursday, amidst all of the back and forth, Musk said that he would start to decommission SpaceX's Dragon program. That came after President Trump threatened to end Musk's government contracts. The Dragon spacecraft is the only U.S. method to get astronauts to and from the International Space Station.
That's right. Elon was so mad at Trump, he threatened to leave astronauts stranded in space. Can you imagine being mission control and having to explain that? Mission control to ISS. You guys might be up there for a while. Mission control, this is ISS. Why? What's going on? Well, you know Donald Trump, right? Uh-huh. And Elon Musk? Yes? All right. Do you also remember notorious child sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein? Oh, we're never coming home, are we?
In a number of emails, Musk and Epstein seem to be discussing plans for Musk to visit Epstein's private island in the Caribbean. In one 2012 email, Musk asking, "What day night will be the wildest party on your island?"
All right, first of all, if Elon Musk ever asks, when's the wildest party at your place, the answer is, oh man, you just missed it. And now I'm tearing my house down and moving, sorry. It's time for late night lessons learned. So what do we learn from this story? 1, billionaire oligarchs should not control our politics. 2, core government functions like space travel should not be privatized. 3, if Elon Musk is right about Donald Trump being in the Epstein files, that means he knew that and continued to work for Donald Trump because he didn't consider that a deal breaker. And that a person of such low moral character should not in any case be in charge of making cuts to programs that provide life-saving medical services to people around the world, but hey, at least he got a stupid golden key out of it. Freaky! Freaky!